Hello, my loves. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the second episode of the series where I share my thoughts and feelings with you guys. So today's topic is going to be nostalgia. I feel like 2026 has been full of nostalgic moments. We've seen a resurgence in music. We've seen a resurgence in TikTok, a resurgence in movies because everybody seems to be linking 2026 to 2016, which is the last good year, as people call it. Yeah. Um, in the past week, I've been quite nostalgic, I'll say. And every time I experience this feeling, it leaves me with other feelings. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm sad, sometimes it leaves me with a deep longing for what once was. Yeah. And I shared it with a few friends of mine, and their feedback was quite interesting because I got to know that each one of them views nostalgia in a different way. One said nostalgia is hurtful. Another said nostalgia blinds us from the gift of the present. It left me wondering, should we be grateful for nostalgia? Let's unpack all of this together. I think nostalgia hurts because it's not just memory, but it's memory that comes with a realization that we lost a version of ourselves, we lost some people in our lives. An example from me is my childhood friendships. I had really good friends when we were young. They were genuine friendships, and I was so happy. And at this particular time, I can say I'm an adult. So as an adult, making new friends is a bit challenging for me. And with my childhood friends, we're not as close as we used to be. Everyone is exploring different career paths. We're getting other friends, and sometimes it's just sad to think that things can't go back to how they used to be. I can't see them every single day. We can't play every single hour of the day, and it makes me sad as much as it's a happy memory, but it makes me realize that I've somewhat lost them. Yeah. So I think that's why nostalgia becomes hurtful at some point because it brings you to the realization that you've lost something. Yeah. Does nostalgia blind us from the present or the present? Does nostalgia blind us from being in the present? Well, I think it can. When we live in nostalgia too long, it can take over and we start doing things like waiting for life to feel like it used to, or missing moments in the present because we're mentally somewhere else, or starting to compare this version of ourselves with a version of us that used to be that we are not anymore. Nostalgia itself is not the villain. It only becomes bad when we use it as an escape instead of reflection. So I think in the right proportions, nostalgia does not blind us from the gift of the present. It rather reminds us of what we value and the things that we would like to recreate in our lives again in a new form. So nostalgia does not blind us from the present. Nostalgia is proof that we lived a life meaningful enough for us to long for it once more. Nostalgia shows us the different versions of ourselves, and I think it's evidence of evolution, growth, love, safety, friendship, because not everyone is lucky enough to have memories that tug at their heart. So even if we don't live in those feelings forever, but we should be grateful for nostalgia because it reminds us of what we once experienced, who we once were, and yeah, I think nostalgia is an amazing and beautiful feeling that we should be grateful for. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and feel free to ask me to talk about what I think on certain subjects that may be of interest to you. And yeah, see you in the next episode. Bye.